Welcome. My name is Serhiy Lipko. This is Jesus, an instructor at the training center, and this is the American anti-materiel rifle Barrett M107A1. Jesus, sorry for the obvious question. Why is it called an anti-materiel rifle? Does it shoot and dematerialize something?
In practice, yeah. Its main job is to destroy lightly armored targets or vehicles, not what Americans call soft targets. In essence, it's the physical embodiment of one American's dream. A guy who locked himself in his garage and, looking at a Browning machine gun cartridge, thought, why not make this lighter?
1982, Ronnie Barrett, an ordinary American photographer from Tennessee, gets fired up with the idea of creating a .50 caliber rifle, and stubbornly starts bringing that dream to life in his own garage with zero engineering education.
Wanting to have something I could enjoy shooting, like a .50 caliber round, I did what I usually do. I just designed my own.
In 2 months, Ronnie personally builds the first prototype on a milling machine. 2 years later, he receives an order from the Swedish Army for the first 100 rifles. And soon after, Ronnie signs a major contract with the US Army.
Someone's son or daughter is going to lie in the mud with this weapon and fight with it to the end. That's a huge responsibility, and I won't allow us to let them down.
For the Barrett family, weapons production turned into a family business. The small garage transformed into the mega corporation Barrett Firearms. Ronnie's daughter works in the company as the marketing director, and his son Chris developed the legendary Barrett MRAD.
This rifle has an internal nickname in the US military, Light 50. It weighs about 16 kilograms, around 35 pounds. So not exactly light, but if you compare it to a Browning M2, with the tripod, fully assembled, that's around 70 kilograms, about 154 pounds. So here's the situation. You need to move somewhere, take a position, and control security on a road, or operate a checkpoint. What makes more sense? Carry a machine gun you might not even use, or break this rifle into 2 components, split it between backpacks, bring ammo, move in, assemble it on site, and you've got something just as effective in terms of hitting power as that machine gun.
By the way, in the state of Oklahoma, there's a secret mystical gun community where Ronnie Barrett is considered the direct reincarnation of John Moses Browning, the famous inventor of that very machine gun. Too many parallels in the biographies of both designers, even their inexplicable love for .50 caliber rounds.
Jesus, it's massive, it's heavy. I've never seen such a huge sound moderator. Can you even still call that a sound moderator?
In fact, it is a sound moderator. It just works more toward improving shooting comfort, and it's got an added muzzle brake that, thanks to the reactive gas jets, also reduces recoil. It's a very comfortable weapon to operate and to shoot. The iron sights here are rated out to 1.5 kilometers, about 0.93 miles. So even without an optic, you can just take it off, flip up the irons. For the distance you need, just raise the slider and fire in that direction. You'll hit a vehicle for sure.
Purely theoretically, could you mount a red dot with a magnifier on this?
Yes, more than that. I'll say it's actually done quite often. It's not for nothing that Call of Duty has that option. Let's put it that way.
breaking the rifle into two components. Is that difficult?
Its genius is that it's built as a modular system that quickly splits into two. Essentially, it's a paired weapon. One rifle issued to two people.
Can we take it apart right now?
It's actually incredibly easy. In fact, we've already split it in half. From here, it's even simpler. You take this bolt, pull it back, drop it here. This, for example, will be one half.
I'll take this.
That's my half.
If you see a suspicious fighter carrying a weapon like this, the other half of the apple isn't far away.
Basically, it breaks down like this. We split it between two backpacks, move with our standard carbines and rifles to the required position.
Well, since we're already in travel mode, we might as well go shoot.
Yeah, I think we can move to the firing line.
Before we start assembling it, I'll point out the conditions we're doing this in. There's some sand here. How high is the risk that a grain of sand gets in and blows the barrel apart, considering how powerful it is?
Almost none. Again, this isn't a precision weapon. The tolerances here are very large, almost like an AK. It's not picky at all. If we assemble it correctly and everything is in place, it'll work. There's an interesting thing with the bolts on these rifles. They designed it so the bolts are not interchangeable. So if you take this bolt with you, you can leave the rifle behind. The enemy will never make it work again unless they find that exact bolt.
But on the other hand, if mine gets damaged or something happens to it, then I'm done too.
If you're part of the US Army or an allied force, you can request a replacement bolt using the rifle's unique code. They'll manufacture one for you and send it over.
All right then, Jesus. I'm handing you the keys. Let's fire it up.
All right, let's begin.
Should I start pulling mine out already?
Yeah, assemble your half.
Not much for a poor guy to assemble. I've barely got anything to do.
Locking the barrel in place, watch me line it up with the groove. Got it?
Yeah, got it. Perfect. That seated really, really well.
Bolt. Release it. That's it. Ready for use.
So load it and fire?
I think so. Go ahead. Load the rounds.
Look how many there are.
Honestly, you don't need more than one.
So realistically, a Russian BMP-2 rolls in, we put a round from this into it, and we can punch through it?
If we use certain types of ammunition. We don't have those right now. They're pretty expensive and not very common these days. These are standard machine gun rounds. There's plenty of them available, so we can at least do some shooting.
Look, it loads way easier than a pistol mag.
Oh yeah, by far.
So you'll take the first shot, right? I'll watch, see how it runs. From here I can already see... What's that sitting over there, burned out, lightly armored and miserable?
These are the remains of a BMP.
And what's the distance, roughly?
About 500 meters, around 1,640 feet. A pretty typical target for an anti-materiel weapon.
With God?
With God. Chambering a round. Let's start with the left side of the BMP. Shot.
Alright, now let's go for the right side.
Shot.
From here it feels like it'd be hard to miss, but we'll try.
Almost impossible.
I feel a crazy level of responsibility right now. I just want to settle in properly, so when that recoil hits hard, at least you're still in one piece.
You'll know whether you did everything right or not. Because if you did, when you hit the BMP, you'll see the flash through the scope yourself. Ready?
Ready.
All right, let's go.
Shot.
Hit confirmed.
Oh. The first thing that hits you is a blast of powder gases straight into your face.
And only after a moment does the recoil reach you. It's actually kind of soft, almost pleasant.
I fired the shot, and my thoughts were, I missed, and then, am I even still alive in this position?
Told you, it's very user-friendly. Relax and just send rounds downrange.
Ready.
Observing.
Shot.
Hit. Same spot.
No way. That moment when you fire, you're supposed to keep your eyes open. That's how professionals do it. But here, if your eyes are open, they start watering a bit from the powder gases.
Childlike joy.
And that thing you mentioned about rifles, interesting point. That snipers develop a high tolerance in the eye membranes because there's always sand getting in.
Yeah, and not just powder gases. You're forced to blink less to keep your eye hydrated, and over time, you just get used to it. If we're talking about precision rifles, there are nuances, vision specifics, how optics behave. Even ballistic glasses, which aren't prescription and don't affect your eyesight, can still slightly alter the direction of light rays that are supposed to focus on your eye. That can lead to small misses. And in precision shooting, you're fighting for every millimeter of accuracy. So rifles are often used without glasses.
A huge sound moderator, a massive suppressor for such large calibers. I'm going to try firing without ear protection because honestly, from our side it doesn't seem that loud.
Right? It's designed to suppress most of the sound and direct the rest forward. But a shot from a weapon like this can't be hidden. Even if you somehow made it completely silent and flashless here, that massive, heavy bullet would still travel downrange, making plenty of noise. You'd know exactly where you're being shot from with a caliber like this.
Feels good being on this side of a monster like that. I'll try without ear protection.
Yeah, like that? Good. Safety off, relax, just enjoy the recoil.
Shot. What we just tested on the ears, perfect. Feels super comfortable.
Like I said, user-friendly.
Jesus, to sum up this rifle,
Basically, it's built so that you can hand it to almost any soldier. 20 minutes of instruction on how to use it, and they're ready to carry out missions.
What would you improve or change about it based on your experience?
Objectively, it's already in a perfectly functional state for the tasks it was designed for. You're not going to make it better.
A perfectly functional tool for engaging vehicles, lightly armored targets, and for filming a show on Army TV. Jesus, thank you very much for this walkthrough, for the chance to fire it. Thank you for your time. Much respect for your service.